Mind you, sir, it is expected, sir, Nyamiya Doma on the 11th of this month, somewhere next week, Finance Minister Uratu forcing at the national budget, at the Beba for 2025. Anticipation, sir, any resolution and a recommendation, a free dialogue, Nimo Abano, Doduana no ebe manifeste in the national budget. And Hong Komo ananope yenewo eba ababedi. Na Endra in Ghana's parliament. There's some time ago, commentaries I buy. Yeah, I mean, it was a random one. Yeti Parliament now will be at TMO Efre. The Honorable Senator Rawlings said, "Well, no, a daughter of a Medra." And no one says, "Sema Baby Brandra." It came up on the floor, but we'll come to that. But let me go on to the line and speak to Professor John Gachi. He's a member of the National Economic Dialogue Committee. Na anopeyene no eninkomo. Prof, if you can hear me, good morning and thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
Very well. I'm grateful. So, first of all, 2 days national dialogue on our economy ended yesterday. Your initial reactions about the entire event and then how it went?
Well, by the grace of God, the entire event went on well. What we planned for day one was successfully executed. What we planned for day two was successfully executed. Day one was graced by the keynote address by the president, and the vice president was also in session. Day two was closed by the vice president of the republic. The arrangement provided a high-level dialogue where we feature some of the ministers in critical areas and the governor of the Bank of Ghana. They highlighted some heartwarming issues that going forward will characterize their work, especially we are now going to see a more transparent approach to determining monetary policy in the country. In the past I stated that if you go to court, the judges write their reasons why they arrive at a decision. And in some jurisdictions, members of the Monetary Policy Committee provide their reasonings in writing. And then it is published or read before the decision is made. That's as it's done in the courts. So we need to get to that level of transparency. And the governor announced that kind of transparency yesterday. And then again, we have been talking about collaboration in among the sector players in managing our economy. That matter also came up strongly, where there will be twice interaction with the private sector, so that they are carrying on the back of the decisions that are made, and that's what is happening within the space of the Bank of Ghana and the rest. So those were heartwarming issues. Again, we also saw the finance minister emphasizing that some of the issues that we have raised will feature in the budget. The same thing coming from Agri Minister, and then the Trade Minister was very fantastic. Her engagement with the people, she articulated the issues that she would be addressing. So I think it was a good demonstration of participation, commitment, and willingness to implement the suggestions.
Well articulated, but for many Ghanaians who were not participants of the dialogue, I mean, what are the major outcomes that they should look out for in anticipation of the national budget as it comes up next week?
Well, I think the budget will clearly address issues of food inflation, the roadmap to restoring food inflation to acceptable level, how to make the VAT more flexible, more responsive, and attract compliance will be addressed. And then I know that some of the taxes will be aligned. So we will see agriculture, promoting agriculture in a manner that interests everybody, the young people, people in the urban areas will all be interested in agriculture one way or the other. There'll be efficient spending in agriculture, as the minister promised yesterday, because of the kind of alignment that he is doing, so that the little that we get to spend on agriculture is productively spent.
Prof, I know you touched on the fact that, moving forward, there's going to be a lot of transparency when it comes to formulating monetary policy. But for those Ghanaians who are within the trading sector, they are looking forward to how, the currency will be stabilized, and then cost of credit, will be on the minimal, so to speak, to be able to, secure credit and then expand their businesses. And so for those in industry and for those in trading, what are they to look forward to in the coming days after this particular dialogue, in terms of inflation, in terms of currency, the exchange rate, and all of that?
I think you know that those matters, they are not, resolved within days. The interest rate is very uphill. Inflation is uphill. Exchange rate is somehow stable, but we need to protect that stability. We are now seeing a drop in the treasury bill rate that is good, but we know that there are risks to that. There are two risks to that. Number one, we do not have alternative in the debt market currently. So people have only one choice, buy treasury bill. But you could also see that institutions who have been investing have huge money in their portfolio, but they cannot be releasing all for treasury bill. They need alternative, longer term investment instruments. That is not readily available now. So we need to work assiduously to ensure that we start introducing longer term instruments, like longer term bond, 2 years, 3 years, 5-year bond into the domestic market, so that people can allocate their funds across TB rates and then or other instruments. Then again, you want to be careful so that this drop in treasury bill rates do not incentivize investors to shift to buying currency. That will begin to put pressure on the currency. So all those things will have to be managed in a way to create the stability. But the medium-term expectation is that decisions that are to be taken within the macroeconomic space will gradually lower the interest rate, will gradually lower inflation, and then bring more stability in the exchange rate. So that is the assurance. And the one assurance is that economic engagement must be continuous. So there is more engagement with the taxpayer community. There will be more engagement with the private sector community, so that some of the rigidity that they complain about can be looked at to create efficiency in the system. So we are just started, and I believe that progressively we will be making successes that will cumulatively be reasonable for the economy.
Very well. But Prof, wrapping it up with you, I mean, earlier on you made mention of the fact that a lot of the taxes are going to be aligned per the resolution or the recommendations that may come as a result of this particular dialogue. Again, we know that currently, as we face, the capital market is closed on us. We cannot go outside and then do some level of borrowing. And so, how are we looking at revenue generation to be able to shore up the government's flagship programs? How do we generate more revenue? I mean, to be able to do a lot of the projects we anticipate going forward.
Well, revenue generation was key on the discussion, and some solutions have been put in place, including taking away certain taxes. Because you see, the idea is that when you take away certain taxes that are inhibiting businesses, you free them to perform better and pay better. So that is the idea for which some of those taxes will be aligned to free the people in the space so that they can work with those monies and pay better taxes for the country. You see, what is happening is that we have heaped a lot of taxes on the taxpayers. That is making them resistant. What I mean is that is making compliance weaker. So you need to free those things to increase compliance. When compliance is increased, then the revenue will come. Then, in addition to that, you also need to be looking at alternative financing mode. They have talked about some rigidities and constraints within the PPP law. That is not allowing the private sector to deploy that tool effectively. And when those rigidities are taken away, it may allow the private sector to support government through alternative financing that will not be resident on the balance sheet of the state to dovetail into calculating our total revenue and our debt to GDP ratio, which is a benchmark of sort of. And then again, there was introduction already in the NDC manifesto. They talk about becoming a member of an Islamic Development Bank to take advantage of those development financing. Then they also talk about introducing Islamic financial products to also bring in some financing that can finance mainly infrastructure. So yesterday that matter also came up again. It was highlighted that we need to explore alternative financing, including Islamic finance, to sort of provide alternative ways of financing infrastructure in the country.
Very well. I know that, I mean, we are doing this just to, I mean, formulate some homegrown policies. But again, corruption was one of the topical issues together with infrastructural development and how best we can position. Now, I mean, what do we know or what are we going to do about the leakages within the system and the fight against corruption whilst we tighten the belt?
So the leakages and then the ways I've talked about that from the perspective of tax administration. The second important aspect of wastage and leakages was about procurement. The dialogue concluded that procurement was not effectively handled in cocoa boards. Procurement was not effectively handled in ECG. So procurement is a big problem around. And then if we want to limit the pain that go through procurement, then it means that we need to take a hold on procurement fraud and mismanagement. So that is a key task that will have to be dealt with. If that is done, especially integrating more IT solutions in the procurement process will help us a lot. And if that happens, a lot of resources will be free for development.
Prof, finally, before I let
then on the front of corruption again,
yes,
there was a suggestion that some anti-corruption agencies will have to mainstream and support it to do their work.
Okay.
So the way you fashion your anti-corruption and finance them will determine the commitment they place on fighting corruption. So all those matters came up. Infrastructure and structural reforms were another important areas.
Okay.
And the structural reforms actually focus on cocoa board, focus on energy sector, ECG. And that is the area that we have to operate very well to ensure that those problems there are taken away. ESLA is supposed to be coming to an end. There was a suggestion as to whether we should elongate the period of ESLA to address the problem in a more transparent manner or not. So that one is also under consideration. Infrastructure is a problem for the country. The deficit is wide across the sectors.
Okay.
Education, health, road, rail, IT infrastructure. If you look at the country right now, we are not connecting to internet in the most efficient manner. All these things need IT infrastructure to be put in place to accelerate that.
Okay.
So all those things have been identified to deal with them.
I mean, all of these are very deep thought, but you've been part of the team that put this whole event together. How about those Ghanaians who are of the belief that, I mean, these are part of mere rhetoric and that nothing is going to really change? We've witnessed that of what transpired during the Senchi consensus, yet we run back to the IMF. And so this time round, what are the commitment levels to ensuring that, I mean, some of these major decisions that were taken at the dialogue will be duly implemented?
I think Ghanaians enjoy freedom of speech, freedom of expression. So it is normal that you will see some Ghanaians will not have faith in whatever is going on in the States. In fact, some Ghanaians who don't even care about what goes on in the States. So that one is given. But I can tell you the majority of Ghanaians follow through. They are glad about what happened in the past 2 days. They were happy about how the whole thing were calibrated and how ministers came up to demonstrate the feedback to all of us and what they are going to do going forward. So Ghanaians are generally happy. What if I'm in their shoes, I will be asking is that how do we ensure that all these things are implemented? Exactly. When they are implemented, how do we know? That is the reason why we provided the communique, number one. So that communique will be serving as a guide. So the finance minister says some of the things will be going into the budget. So these are implementation will start the whole of this year. People will hear those things and be monitoring whether indeed finance minister will factor some of those things in the budget and then implement them. So you are bringing engagement with the citizens and monitoring what is happening in the implementation. Then again, you had the director, the one in.
Oh, very unfortunate, but I think we've gotten enough from Professor John Gachi, Dean of the University of Cape Coast Business School, member of the committee one more put it together the National Economic Dialogue, and that is the conversation, the details of it. But there is a communique one more publish and adope yebede ho and come or just stay with us. 56 minutes after 7. Kessben 92.9. We are live on TV, we are live on Facebook, and then we are live on social media handles. Your number is 055 0567 929 055 0567 929 and no numbers. But BOT atenase maminya adwuma we mratia wa na meni ne bedin komo about the National Economic Dialogue, and so far how the governance has been for the NDC and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And in Parliament there was a delegation of chiefs one happy about the comment daughter of a murderer sometime back and about 2 weeks ago and a bar within the chamber at the time, and former President Rawlings in the bar ejina the nine so award kasa akwakoye and sembebre there are him for one free and lost state about Parliament, and ebeshia speaker indicating said they are not happy no ninyina no akwakofa and sembebre. But now the speaker has said the person who made those commentaries must own up, and yes, Parliament will have to fish out the person or make it, or the member of Parliament or make it those comments na I think so maybe it will train no yet media country. But first of all, ma yentie speaker back then on this same matter na Yemra.
I extend my deepest apologies to Honorable Dr. Zaneto Ajiman Rawlings, Member of Parliament for Klote Kole, Her Excellency Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings, the former First Lady of Ghana and widow of our late illustrious President, the family, the chiefs, and all the good people of Anglo Duko and Anglo land. No one serving their country should have to endure such indignity. Consequently, a formal investigation has been initiated to determine the identity of the member who made the comment. Subsequent to which, in line with standing orders 218 and 219, the Committee of Privileges and Immunities and Ethics and Standards shall be called upon to consider the referral and report to the House.
For that mess happening, sound, but my main call line so not meaning como Jeffrey Badini, Vice Chairman of the Voter NDC caucus in diaspora na anope meneno in the Nkomo. Jeff, what you make? Good morning, it is saying.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Now, what to say?
Nyamena dom for chayankwa ye dia sidakese be.
Very well. And open so that's to say what so. And first of all, I mean the party in the voter region, those of you in diaspora, I'm so much happy about the fact that the daughter of the founder of the NDC, a member of Parliament sitting in the chamber, again is say or your daughter of a murderer. Now tell us, because Andra yenim say and lost state a him for no storming the premises of Parliament. Until we see a video on TV and on Facebook. What is really happening and what are really the concerns Muhodi?
So opening yadase. Nyame ensure of some mama is akonya enya yencheche enumam. The woman said ye who said UP amanuko na ye from MPP no. Omo kasa ehun ente kwa and omo hu omo so say omo yo nipa si obia na sa suban no omo enjaye a de asem kese ebebro omo ye wo man mu no ye nyina ye Ganafo ye te honom ana omo empanifo bi in the past akoka say ye for ye inward looking. Ye frisanka ombesua nyansa enfisa no ma no ba omantimi. Ansua nyansa no mo koswa no mo ye saa isenhunu na omudinu awayi. Fast forward. asema ye ken me hu de ba ya discussion of parliament mu de ba ya so bitimi tenase no fre ye ehene oye former president ono anu we peja fourth republic no esi hodom ena omu bie nya kwanya ababetina parliament so omu ye MPs na se de mo discuss no untimi enka bibia mfa ho a ense nka utimi ye din na omo nimdie wo de omo kan no ho na o maka uti echire honom na so obi asori ya ba yenua zanato ba be enkomono edibia uti echire wa na waka nsenhu me fe se ko ya bema enura ya ko honom no aka se me na me kan ye so nim se Rollins ya dishie ya angrofo ya dishie asa ye ahene a anope ewo mukasa fidie no so no ya ka amanate se onye ex president keke ana wan be di president keke wo ya hene etina nra ya papa honorable Dan Aburapi oye Secretary of the Anglo land. Anura odi yechi no. Enu ntina ye hene awo mafia ebuofu ya mano emere ya say nipa no oni up. Ba ye hu senda satama ya papa no ade sakata no ko parliament no na speaker oni ono etu kwan. Enti ama ya yi kakra se si awa bana ya demonstration ya so ya di petition ade akoma no se nipa no wa ma no wa meka no wa nya yi wa mpacho na wa mbese anko Angolan efia wagu ya hene ani a former president na di opeso ohunu obehu se se no yen country anchira no obepacho wa ebeya ebeya yi ebabua no
very well
so hu no omudi no ombetimi akọ asante hindi otumfuo ayi so akwakodi sankwasi asem no
oh Debbie Jeff and kwasi asem they too strong a word but as part of a petition no I mean do you have people in mind that most suspected say woman na a cast as a biana
openi one say o cast sankwasi asem is a strong word
exactly I know the
but it's a kwasi asem no mo ye because and parliament won ma speaker Appiah Kubi no and not done pressure ye until dokaye who follow proceedings until dokaye and not done press akola we nansi ya wo no when you konya ba parliament o kwasi asem no obo equalize
Jeff the use of that word
yes yeah utumu say almost sha am person moye because nakawasa any die no any buo ama yen as anwafo a speaker cast asem ne pe ono so ko papa cho keke ni yen se di asem ne beba but oba be equalize UP force baya no MPP force baya no etino yen no ye kan say ya ma omo emre
okay
na nipa no omra no be only up no one patcho wa the back plan 2
very well
na plan 2 do failure the back plan 3 na obehu ye besi okroma no
Jeff mabe na wasi no pay I'm grateful for your time and Jeffrey Bunny, vice chairman of the NDC voter caucus in diaspora, speaking at pay about Andra and the Osha TV so no Andra Parliament House, the unlost state, together with one opinion for one more a year protest a call a year the Parliament of Ghana, a petition come as speaker said, woman, you're happy about those commentaries by, and the person must own up. There's an ultimatum, and we look forward to see, say, members of parliament, you're making those comments, ebe only up now. Apologize here now, and whole conversation, and will have any. Your numbers in here 055-0567-929, 055-0567-929. Now, maybe urging the things they say will come now, or a chartered economist, or a member of the NDC. Now, I no pay, baby, I will be as BOT. Be matching that is saying,
Mr. Speaker, Mejoso.
You be fine.
BBI fine.
Now, then, who I just said.
I'm in charge of phone what for. Now, Mr. Speaker, what was that?
But my main country for why fresh. But opposition today, yeah, on every ball. Who's the beauty I can see?
But wait, oh.
The why I can see. Do you admit the why I can see?
No, but Miami can see that. Mr. Speaker, what would you say? The bottom line of life is to have peace of mind.
Exactly.
To be very honest with you, say my bibia cry for joining NDC, I have my peace of mind.
Okay.
I know the idea always I pride myself, say, may my testy both parties.
Okay.
I was an MPP for 13 solid years. Maybe NDC me fifi muna mekoi. If you ask my candid viewer, I can tell you point blank, say,
open this,
Now can't you see? It's a reflection on me. He's dawning on me. You don't need to be told. I could even say, do you need to be told that? You don't have to be told that. I mean, it's clear. So, a political party as a Congress, I recommend them every young person.
Okay.
But let me sign this caveat. Man, mo biya amfan sheni team saying this Obama now rise it. That notion must be cleared. And you're not correct. It's never so.
You must go through the process.
You have to pay your dues. You have to pay your dues. Because can be a every young person watching me, I'm using myself as a testimony. NDC Kua Ejiobia because Congress.
Yeah.
It's an amalgamation of diverse interests. But a non-so interest will be about my Uremana. No. For me, about 4 years ago, I may take a decision to join the NDC. I am paying my dues.
Okay. And
Obi Biana or where Niwa Kumapabedia to Muse, it was a stranger that has landed. And I landed well.
Okay.
And young people, NDC is your home. Feel free to join. But whilst you want to join the NDC, remember, say, on Kessben Maakye show, so 5th March 2025, BOT can say,
yeah.
Who join the NDC, you don't just join and arrive. Obi obeka sasana so NDC dey move for and you no correct. When you enter, you have to now look, Mr. Speaker, even this platform, the leverage Amudia Mami Kra has been a contributing factor. Okay. What can I say? The very first time I'm about to show you so some of these people didn't like so I hire a pro MPP station.
Yeah.
But today they are the one running to kick some of us out from the platform. so the American Cosinus NDC Eja Hoho, NGC Eji Ubia, regardless of your background, your disability situation, your age, your gender, it is a home for the homeless. That is how I will put it. Okay. But when you enter that home, prepare yourself to pay your dues. And when you have paid your dues so well, the party will give you the exit.
The reward will come.
Precisely. Okay. And then now, Mr. Speaker, take it or leave it. From office of the president, vice president office, speaker of parliament, and even most of the ministers, they know BOT has paid its dues.
Okay.
It's clear. It's evidently clear. Say, I had to say 8, But I'll be try to be 8. Until so a young person now, person joining NDC now, follow my footstep. And at a point, a man for crappers, you can't wash and Unyuma Pabidi Wachi. Exactly. Yeah.
I love that statement, the ending part of it.
Yeah.
Unyuma Pa.
Ebedi Wachi. Because you be on a bepe wasem. Look, appointment, Kosi. Udi bet my copy, baby. Ebas will be in pewasem. But Unyuma Pana, why ye at Honuntino? Or fighting Mapana in ye. Because look, throughout this whole country, here young koye, media platform, he find young raye. Beyond that, it's not to your bottom, the abua party, no. Madame for being necessary, what time motia no kind of crap, for no cremon in Kotorum. And I'm family no cremon in Kotorum, what I say. So tabua motia.
Yeah.
Na se motia pine num kan uji se no kra ne ye no kra nko ade a. Fa motia no kra ma no fa nkotorum. Enti bet me aba so obi mpe wasem. But in Yuma Pan Niama na why you
can't write it.
You can write it off. And look, Mr. Speaker, make my pride me home ne. Say 2024 election. Won't me me din free mo. A bit more basa won pema I agree. You can choose not to like me, it's your palaver. But so Becca say oh try back or some say 2024 election.
1 year you might
no boy. Share Zabzugu Tatale. I will be or me freeze. I was a minimum country go on campaign.
Okay.
Zabzugu Tatale. Me could do 1 week. 1 solid week.
Oh, Zabzugu.
Zabzugu Tatale 2 constituencies are joined together. In fact, campaign T-shirt or start on campaign I gave it to them, and their MPs can testify. My own financing. Make my casa for Mahama Ankasa fiscal donation was made to him. Oh, they are not on China. All my sister and daughter constituents, man spend a crime, each of them pay 50,000. Because apart from 500 T-shirt, 300 T-shirt, 10,000 across board, no, me could be more than 3 times.
Yeah.
And me could be also me the car neko, me to fuel, me the hotel, me the team so nenam. Until 2024 election, you can choose not to like me and family home. But so because I will throw victory na bakosem. Now be me dine free mo the oboa. Brekum East. Mama commended the MP or so daughter Simon and Parliamentary.
Okay.
Or catch him se minia. In fact, that or call Parliamentary or call register MP.
Yeah.
Ni picture try and I was the first person he sent to. Me bema wakan. Also you a political prophet. Edrumebia people fear he could not win. Me ko hon kwans about 6 times. Esikado keteng.
Yeah.
Grace Yensu dankwa.
Kessben.
Esunafo not.
Yeah.
Me ka say esunafo not. Honorable BA. Ye kon campaign ma the whole day ye nidi. Ye pona about na 11 p.m. Afano Southeast, Honorable Mohammed, Yakubu. Da ye launching a campaign and so boy. Ye jinen sumu na de launching the campaign. Enti we paid our dues and we are watching the party leadership. We have paid our dues. Enti ye said ye wa poto amana afie no tiso dibom. We've paid our dues. Okay, say no contribution, no chop. And I yenum bi abra na wo position no ye disika brow. Asen off ye disika ko ho 16 orphan constituency nya say disika ko keke ye disika ko esan ko ye mu adwuma.
Yeah.
Enti the me catch obi bia no say don't care about what people say or do your best. Margaret Thatcher and can say those times are not the Nazi party in Germany ye did Adolf Hitler. Say look, Adolf Hitler can do his worst, but we shall do our best. Adolf Hitler can do his worst, but we the British, we shall do our best. And my preoccupation is say, at any moment in life, do your best. No matter how the stumbling block, the blockade, do your best. Even after elections. Unim say, I personally have done thank you to many constituencies.
After the elections?
After the elections.
Okay.
I've gone there to thank people and I'll...
Maybe I will adapt.
Yes. I've been there and I'll finish all of them before 2024. Unim the entire. Yeni a cotton, a county a cotton
candidate, you know.
And some people are expecting certain things from us. Okay? Some people have certain social needs, basic needs. Ebimu ya kwan, ebimu ye nsuo, ebimu enlistment to certain employment opportunities.
Yeah.
And they are looking up to us. Now, Mr. Speaker, can you give what you don't have?
No.
So, the point I'm making is, look, the party must look out for rewarding people who can let the party be more sustainable.
Okay.
Because the system of one constituency I'm a call, you know. Mr. Speaker, many people are looking up to me. Ebi in Kenya.
And it's not as if say you didn't win them.
We won 14 out of 16. Some of them since 96 and this in winning that.
Yeah. Esikado.
Mpohofiase, Sunafo North, Afano Southeast. The records are there. Brekum East, Doma East. Doma East crowd there, your national chairman, Honorable Johnson said in Ketenuaba.
I see.
I'm to the Perry and now to Parliament.
Yeah, Doma is one or two, madam.
Oh, no, go to Wadam for no. Doma is one, I mean, control. Last rounds I'm a 4 year.
Kessben.
Now what I say, you man,
that was my project.
When I go to
I be soon here. Unim the entire. Wadam for chum your friends saying. Chumberry man.
Doma is.
Ni kro fe tre kro no kobedia supra.
Yeah.
Kobedia supra. Kro no no untimi shata de fufu mfanko. Me say den. Sa wadam for no twa this cliff fasten the say beauty ne kai. Emfuturo. Nkeni anya adwuma. Public toilet ba ko pe ho asai. MP ni kro mo. Ye fro kobedia supra. Na me kache kro ho fo say ye to 7 December ba we. Na mo ye mistake to abama Chumberry ma. Mpuntuduma mu nya bi krom ha. And lo and behold, omo kire ni bibi. Hwe,
that's all you want to
look, yeah, when nya bibi ama wase aye bo no kro no. Kura u free mo kobedia supra odoma east. Mfuturo ku kro no. Omo toilet nye, nkani anye. No economic opportunity for the people. And you are the member of parliament. And Mr. Speaker, adwuma no de ye adwuma no. And the result is out there.
I hope that those MPs are winning, or buy, or kai, dear.
Well, you see, Fidechi Abu and Sunkunjano.
Oh, better 14 out of 16 orphan constituencies are winning, you know. Say MPs in our crackers or better Bosumi be our own yamobo. I hope so from more Mofade.
Let me be very, I don't call, they rather call.
Okay.
They always call. And Adeba Kwame Appiah Kubi say they've made it look like Charlie Sawa Mama Kanye. And Mr. Speaker, one of the MPs baby a majine bia mi money dimboneda a Brekum is member of parliament. Eda Simon and Parliamentary. And Oyadiema me who dream share or call parliament. Or register and share or register and return a picture. Well, who do you trust?
Thank you, comrade, and my political prophet.
Thank you. The first time in Landy will be.
I wanted the ID card.
Not the card. Don't register Parliament the first day. So you see, they are grateful.
The first time,
first time.
Okay.
And since 96, see, you know, 10 MPP in the cover, and we're breaking that gene against the MPP. Yeah. So. Most of the MPs now, my boy almost secure seat for the very first time. No, they are keeping in touch. For her fiance, we always talk. Esikado Keten always question me team, their lawyer Backman, always in touch with me. As soon as not solid guy. Okay. But the good thing is that at least I was part of history making. NDC abakosem dachi election 2024. I can that make my strategy betim they are winning more other fan constituency.
Okay.
And for me, I am happy and look on am I fine.
Okay. But that's it. BOT 20 after 8 in Pacho high Kessben 92.9. Feno joining here. Me need Mr. Speaker. Many Bernardo Drotechi, chartered economist and a member of the NDC. Anna Edin Komo. Now we are coming to the substantives now. Yetimi Eddie and Komo na a lot has happened in the last 2 days about the National Economic Dialogue. There is a communique after dialogue, no one more Eddie Abba about some of the things to look out for in the future. But mind you, next week there will be a national budget, and the anticipation is that most of this resolution and as a recommendation ebebano dodo na be follow with him. Mamemra bi otu so na yenhase ni nkombo no emfri ho. Bi mamemhase but no my yemfa mo first days in office no say mo start over 53-54 days in the mini on dance here ni nkombo. Enti no my yenhase emfri ho and say about dialogue no so far any matter say aban yi de mo kan nyina no mu di so.
Mr. Speaker, Mamencha Mampeni Oti Yakonyo Isui, and he's a history maker. The vice is a history maker. In fact, for vice president, me mame about politics, she is my political godmother. Professor Nana Jeno has broken a certain gene, and for the very first time, Obaya Mampeni Abedi actually.
Exactly.
That should tell you how congressional the NDC is. I agree with you, sir. I heard you be anya dem kusin nkon. Say more sugar cane the as a real. Says we can be free from our code so the taste will change.
Yeah.
But on any day, let me say it emphatically clear on this show. The NDC is superior to the MPP on any day.
I see.
Yes, and I am a kind of saying I'm a hybrid. Like, honestly, I've gotten the opportunity to taste how the MPP is, and now tasting how the MPP is more. And I tell you, say, NDC Manfra for now but together.
Okay.
And by virtue of that, no, the NDC respect divergent opinion. NDC where somebody may not like you, but in the supreme interest of the party, you work together.
Okay.
Political party be our blocks home. And now we interview Minian voter regional caucus, diaspora caucus leader. No?
Yeah.
You have the Ever block, you have the Northern block, you have the Ashanti block, you have the Akan block, you have the diverse block are there. But I dear Bakwan Emma NDC ya kono no say and now say like congressional, you know. When you're the open necrana, there are other ways to get what you want.
Okay. So
far, so good. So I say means call His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The 120-day projection of the Maakye for the first time, the fastest cabinet ever formed. Commendable. Council of States formed. Most CEOs are now being put in place. Ambassadorial portfolios will start working. As we speak today, over main ministers and deputy main ministers are gone. They are working on vetting of the deputy ministerial portfolio. And it's was starting on a good footing. There is a development that Abanye achieve so alarming. And the media is quiet on it, and I'm shocked. And only yet the performance of the treasury bill at the money market. Metesa Abra, Professor Gachi, right?
Yes.
Gachi interview, no? You were raising an issue of about an interim injunction to the capital market. Mamin Mukakra. Capital market, no, we've not been janted as we put it. But the woman say, see, Ghana Castle Quaco Bobo or capital marketer, the coupon rate or Modebema yen is so excruciating, so you better don't go.
Okay.
I had to say, Mr. Speaker, Koto bottle.
Interest in the bell was true.
Interest in the bell was true. I say, Mr. Speaker, person Koto bottle. Now, bottle him, say bottle, you know, yet on our baby at 10 cedi. After Uber, Kessben, Minia Kwabna Kessi studio, lawyer studio. Yes, about to 30 cedi.
Yeah.
Now say debut. Now but we me Kessben adwumamu Kumasi a moton 10 cedi. There na say tiwa studio nko ade 30 cedi. So you better go and drink pool water than to drink this bottled water.
Okay.
So it doesn't mean say you are not supposed to buy this. The TN say and the economic environment of the outgone government in it, you know, ama aye now no unappetizing to go to the capital market. However, treasury bill rate in there I follow for almost about 27 percentage points. The actually say treasury bill be an a buying fast or bubble send fit me for.
Yeah.
And as I buying tosika. Enti minimum Mr. Speaker will be a 1 million Ghana cedi that bank. I own you so. It was savings account. Savings account to be on so I feel be our interest of 5%. And I was okay, Sana tell you I can scare me cray. Me I mean to me fan could be edma. Me I mean to me fan could sit down tonton. Sana tell you I then I mean fan go into investment instrument. Said the beya a year by now no. Mr. can bet my wo by 30%. Okay. So the treasury bill is a money market because short-term trading no. My men are buying paper called treasury bill. Now I bring be a treasury bill. Rate ebe decline no a good omen for the business environment because Ghana buying bubble send free to memufo we are or seti be a friend of policy rates. Policy rate no ye Bank of Ghana BOD rate or the to ho say e free na kwe say yenso ye de sika bo universal banks bosia na de be bobo no embro this rates. So Ghana buying ato sika free to memufo ho let's say 22% per annum. Owie ye no the policy rate nam 29%. I said there be some matosika 22% pay annum dia. And yeah, me policy rate na 29%. No, me it is about 25%. And this means so me the sika boy universal bank bosia at a rate there. Yeah. And yeah, me it is so free there 29 about 25. Eba sansun so papa bene de beba. Ebe master banks and so koko bobu sen free Bank of Ghana ho wie. No amon so de bosin eba be bo the business community a. And then say policy rate above when because the treasury rate decline into no. Ebe ma interest on loaning ebe ye cheaper. Okay. Say interest on loaning ye cheaper. What are the cascading effect? One, ebe ma cost of production ye cheaper. So cost of production ye cheaper. Ebema goods and services in the economy will have a declining rate. And only a friend of disinflation. Okay. Because a disinflation, inflation be actually say nema bo cost whether it is hyper, suppress, sustain, whatever it is. But se udru biebi na se nema bo ye din nta nya din bibra na se teba form in a concept of disinflation. Aban bi obe enter into disinflation no e de ahoto papa e bratmem for. Enti na me ne wo kase no. Se treasury rate be form policy rate be form. Ebet mama lending rate above from. So lending rate above from cost of borrowing will be cheaper. Ebema nyuma mfididuma ye cheaper. Ezun so say and nyema ye to dwam no in the next 3 to 6 months no will start seeing a declining rate called disinflation. Where ye as cascading effect of a buying more than more.
I don't know can maybe be sad because what in the last 50 days the day na my year e wo amamu yi mo a dance one
right
ama treasury bill no basa.
Thank you. Now Mr. Speaker, governance bia is economic management na yankrabata kese mienu. Seba economic management broadly 2 departments. You the monetary policy regime and the fiscal policy regime. Kessben. Monetary policy regime ye Bank of Ghana said into kan Ghana constitution na article 183 hokono. A trade jumedi was a Bank of Ghana exchange rate regime ye the forex exchange regime ni di. And it's a Bank of Ghana no stabilize to 2 nearma ye who say oh foreign currency our minimum ye reserve a year. It me kushima o currency ye more stable.
Okay. Now
say o subsidy or monetary policy. There's an element called fiscal policy regime, and only a so young crab term you call fiscal consolidation. And no one you share one. How do you raise revenue? And to Kwame Appiah Kubi ufa sika. The ultimate obvious non-negotiable one is taxation. Nobody can run away from taxation except the dead. Nobody can run away from taxation except even the dead. The crowd here goes here wono. Amanana ebe siye de watumu no. Ya bo amana ni wia one who ya betu ya levy ansana yesiyo. So in economics it is said nobody can escape from tax except the dead. And to be a tiato in the fiscal policy regime oh share me revenue hifa na ifraba is it grant, is it aid, is it donation, is it license payment, is it taxation, whatever it is, or is loaning. So what we ya because of abana etwemu modern mobintino am I a source of revenue base na swati.
Okay.
However, your friend BB, your tax component to your GDP. Say, or maybe a betum power, the rate of your tax to your GDP. You can say GDP, and you might produce organ and mamunina, if you miss your combo one near the good basket ma, send your beton, and your friend the gross domestic product. So, gross domestic product on the right. No, beside, say, oh, 2 hours or my mono. So, calculating in percentage terms, and you're saying all over the world. Maybe mo say Singapore, UK, US, China, and Europe mono. The amount to impone say so for more GDP. Now for more tax regime now they can score about 30%.
Okay.
In the amount be an abandon was kept because amount for to okay. Over here Ghana here as of the year 2023. Now your tax rate to your GDP no, was 13.5%. Meaning say we are below the standard that the world is anticipating. And now you can say no. Ghana for one share assembly and bekan finance minister be on a fiscal regime so no ne persona ne skills ne educational background e informing the policy and it's often free 92 a Kwame Pramu Kwasibotwe Kwadwo Banredu all down the lane to the current one daughter case Lato Force no. And now, so far, he was an investment banker.
Okay.
And as an investment banker, no, now beginning in a year, Kobobo Siatin Chobo, into her now. Or do we Kobobo Sano Baking Kipati? Because he was an investment banker. My main farmer, Anta, MP for Karaga. Abro Baba year for them say short time, no.
Yeah.
And now, so no, you're pure economist, you you saw the economy taking shape. Because you know you're investment banker or a pure economist. And to know him how to put in play the trigger, the blocks. There came Dr. Kislato Forsen. Who is he? Or a tax practitioner, or a chartered accountant, or a fiscal economist. Ghana folks should break themselves out, say, obey tax realignment. and obey physically prudent. Obey making sure that there should be value for money. And to bone say, Adie bi ananka kenofrata ya Ghana for be kassetia no bebre no case lato force will not do because his background is a multi-dimensional. You are a tax practitioner, you are economist, you are a PhD holder, you are also a chartered accountant. Be answer trading. Yeah. Opa for admin we are motimu. I stand to be corrected though, but I can tell you, say accountant be a minimum no in search trading. And to the Ghana for be experiencing is say we may be getting close to the Setekwe effect, but not too much. What you say? Setekwe was a pure taxman.
Only money.
And one way, yeah, Dr. Keslato force in there, no, or no, a combination of several skills and professionalism. And the what me within the short time, they say, the treasury bill market no kobo bosiano. People oversubscribed.
Yeah,
you can't oversubscription. Oh, kopa dia ba.
Target no.
When you buy, once no when you 5.
Yeah.
Sanko finance minister boni on Indian ko obeye. Nka over subscription ne buy nka obeka say oh, mumfa ni nyina amra. For the very first time, his TB was oversubscribed or returning oversubscribed, you know, to them say we don't need your money. Into what mfa so be na de beba. Ebema abaning indebtedness I contained.
Okay.
Sanke ye kenoforata. And or call money market, treasury bill market. Hey, investment banker.
I
cannot you bocho. Enti Dr. Kesla to force na mamu no. Wa call treasury bill market akobobos no call you know. Or say oh me pay 67 billion within 2 months. 67 million. Wa konya 102 billion of akọ say baby. Sa additional 30 something billion na abeka excess no. Mu a mo ba sam beto mo nyimu sika back say de mo sika mo back mfa so be na e ba man no e man no ka ye de ne so te
an interest be e be back and so be out me tua
enti what be some question say within the short time de ne ya ne say treasury bill market ananka ye nuanu MPP for kokobo so be kenke party no ye nye kenke party na mom ye call market na ye nye over subscription no ye returning over subscribe amount to those owners of that money. And then no, Ghana will be much more sustainable going forward. They are told to be. Adia who say very.
But clarify this because Dr. Gideon Boga said in the last 1.5 months he might borrow over 67 billion.
I have said it.
Ghana cedis. Okay.
There's something
and that is from the treasury.
There's something called net effect. Mami Chemu. You can say net effect. Minia Ziga.
Yeah, Ziga.
Ziga, young fan say on your MPP about why MPP are mine. And a warrior market and a BOT NDC. Me buy you know, Minia Ziga, Akobo Bosiana ne da hono. It's around 59 billion. Was a mutual within short time. And a man for the bond paper about say Tia Kani Yanko. And I'm say okay, Sana Tia dia. And ye me kwa 67 billion. Me 67 billion ni we are. Me buy be Tia man for matured coupon no,
which is the bonds.
Say me tuama omu we are the difference back and find the net effect.
Okay.
And you be all share Kessben TV now no pay no TNE. NDC are buying more traditional bosom 7 billion. Bosia ya boy 7.1 to 9 billion because sikana ya G you know. Yeah, they are servicing the outstanding indebtedness of the MPP government.
Enu bi na mudi tuya bon.
Enu bi ni edi tuya ya no boni be ni aye. O bo ka to ho. About you going concern. What you say? Government go, government come.
And the bondholders, no announcement. Years will be uncogenisika no. And no so.
Yes. Okay. Because look.
And time that's one necessary.
Time that's one was our bunny tria. And untina, Mr. Speaker, your boss habu send you a sikano. Your creative sinking fund. In the sinking fund, you create you know additional net effect na be toss one. Yeah, dia koto futuom. Yeah, train say nyame boa. Not the next maturity date of the DDP for no bondholders no retirement package ni dura. Enya fe ne ye ba be ye ntre ha. Ye tu ye nia ye de nsa boss afoto no ma ye tu musika ma. Enti mamma obi antum mami misa question. See me no MPP for see abobo san so within this short time. I find can use it can even free. And now me no work say where they Donald Trump
and this one is the domestic market.
It's a domestic one
within the
country. The the biggest achievement of the NDC government. At the international external debt exchange program no yet me negotiate a cut off about $5 billion car ya shiegu. MPP tried severally. Do you know what the external people told them? They said, we don't trust you. We don't. But within the short term.
I think they do, baby. The bilateral creditors, I think it was $4 billion.
Official creditors committee. They agreed, but they were not ready to append their signature.
I know that no more in China for
precisely. I don't know more catch the Ghana ban say yeah more strategic investment in the country. And what were they? They wanted our ports. They wanted UCG. They wanted Terminal 3. And MPP are buying who says so more committee who yes are there now M1. So they were not prepared to append their signature. His Excellency Mahama comes. And in less than 2 months, the official creditor committee they've ceded to it. And now minimum can say no, ya append it, ya shish can be a gua. Enfansun so boni bi amra mine. And so be some say these are biggest milestone and they won't even fast pay room. Senyankopon ya adom na oton hwensu gu amamu ne so na ne makoye. Na yesika sem epeja. Ni etimi twa domestic debt exchange wie. Na ye chance ye twa external debt exchange for no so we cannot have access to the capital market. And let me tell you, borrowing is not bad. And on this platform, me can't say boy the money. As an economist, the last argument I'll make is say boy the money. No, it depends on the type of borrowing you're engaging in. Because if you do concessional borrowing, now kobobo be see commended sugar fetra. Nyansasem. Sa kobobo be see Terminal 3. Nyansasem. Sa kobobo be ma cocoa farm a free fertilizer. You've done a good thing. But sa kobobo be see National Cathedral. Now, two amana a swimming pool. What is the common economic sense in it? South Bobosia, now the Gary Wiema. Does it make sense to people? South Bobosia, the Pakinipagu presidency. Now, be crew chief for staff back or the 30,000 a month. What is the real economic value? And to media as an economist, there is no day I met Snakas Bosia Bonya de Bonnet. We have good and bad debts. So, to me, Bobosia, Mammy for me, Kessben. Sebio Edma Oye at a point he's going to want to take a loan facility. Sakwabnaje Bosia. No the baby nyuma bebre. Na say nyuma ne timi tua sa Bosia na waje ne car. A concessional borrowing. And many akwabna beje the OPM concept. Other people's money concept. There is no government in the world. Oh, because obey chichiri mine abra Bosia nka ho. Take United States of America. They are owning trillions of dollars. Take the UK economy. Everybody will borrow. The contention and the argument will be Bosiana wo die no. Die na wo de Bosiana ye. Enti ma obi antena ba bi nka se na NDC buy 60 days wa Bosiana 67 billion. The contention should be Bosiano die no die. Na wo na want to man for bond money. Wo die nim guase akotena fie no. Na ye di ani gie 57 32.2 titifia bites. They say Nagana for basis fear bitters. What is the fear bitter certificate? And you was say your Bob was what you say. MPP, this is the fear bitter certificate 32.8. So the argument is clear. Within the short term, confidence is coming back.
Okay.
And let me tell you, say your finance minister said they all kono sa and we were football back the man. And I'm saying this with all sense of humility and apology. One, the NDC faced the Setekwe effect in 20. What is the Setekwe effect? Setekwe effect was that why the papa a question what to school near Wabeng on Sian will be a Siabi. Into your corporate Kusiadi, you know, Bawa Reba Ban Baba Fakunde. Into answer in your good team. The book was one and more to him. On farm more being Kusiabi than the panels were defense. The Setekwe effect was that, all the good things for NDC lost shamefully in 2016. Why? Because he kept a lot of things to his chest. Finance Minister Awabai, my district DNA a photo kakra me de ma wo nene say. Don't be Setekwe effect part 2. Get an efficient PRO at your ministry. And get the media frequently. By nature,
economic issues.
Yes, me asma make
to report on it.
Me say, one day we'll come back to it. Because only BB. And you ma pa washa asiye no more man nka na moto now within 60 the treasury bill market is declining timamufo no ntia asiye unim de ntia the okoto treasury bill na adwenya ne say o say faso kura anim
of course yeah,
and to let the people understand caveat enter right some can say
yes,
let the buyer beware caveat emptor.
Commercial law.
Let the Ghanaian beware. And the finance minister means Susia me de ma no pay wo Kessben Maakye shows and say what say you my papa say. Now mama me say take we dey be fan show moto. Get an efficient PRO who understand finance and economy and accounting. Said the beya anamontuo bia wo betuo no. Treasury bill will achieve way.
So what it means is that even on the treasury bill market, there was a target, specific target, and what they call. Now that you've achieved that, you don't go in excess.
No. And finance ministry should keep a clear interface with the people. Man may say, oh, you're introvert to the Unimadia no word, my debi. So one fails you be who yare. And NDC abanya abeno. Nkolami and semi na kocha no ma tutu no ho. E na omode no koma oluman bi o tini fie sa no ma okra ye. Se tuka wawu ana o wonkwa. Papa no hu se so kasa no ma ne nwuye a nkora no be mia no ma na ku no. E na so kasa no ma no so ewu mbe ja no ma no. Na o se da bi anoma ne nkra bi ahye mo nsem. Sa abani betima gina yi a ye nkra bi finance ministry. Because you see sikasem e na ma economy ni nyina gina. Se treasury bill market ekoye bond market ekoye o service debt ye o trade me for ka ye o trade contractors ka ya na se man sikasem okoye asomdwe wo manum na se wo ye sa ne panyina we na obe create buffers economic sinking fund whatever fund na timamu ni no wo som no ntiase a eye cosnanti. So as a finance ministry, get a very interactive interface with the people. Number 2, keep a close friendship with the media. Mama media for no patterns on information. Now no me hear Richard Ahiagba, the MPP communication director. Or see, there were some appointees of His Excellency Akufo-Addo. They were keeping information to their chest.
Information.
As a government, we must avoid that thing.
Information.
And you my papa yasha ye net ye resetting chargeable buffer. They have to avoid it because on him nipa de by nam. Keep interface with the people. And Mr. Speaker, we say me no keep born from 2021 and commit to so relationship matters. Say otme yes hadie we man this ya bana. Mr. Speaker, 2028 year campaign no. Ebe sisifia bites. Almost sisifia bi check the personality. What you say? Because timemfo no tiase na adwuma na ekoyie. Na sikasem ntutu ekoyie. Propaganda be a opponent the beba timemfo no tiase.
Okay.
Na se timemfo no tiase na wo ye ne papa you are building castles in the air. Get a proper foundation for it.
Get a proper foundation for it. May I say, it's 8:45. May I say, Bernardo do techina what's in Kano na. Mamem ko na mintra me ho emra me ba. First 50 or 60 days in office, BOT a kind of FF. And African Pop Ziga Beka Kakra. And Sana Masa the BOT Abba a year. Economic dialogue no ankasa so say foundation no get it right now say na to force na chance here there then what it means is that in the future no dialogue in so ebeboa in resetting the economic fortunes of this country. But stay with us now. Many of our Tampa Prostate Center for any komo simedu emra meba yebeto ankomo DNA so ma mema of hours in achi na mema no akwaba anope over ohun ye na ohun to say marching anope
course we try do e be ma only here some solution hydrochloride said no relax most na wo o brother ni positive ni say the be o so be try so fine ndu do no say call na said no mo na e o so mo ato mo na sa na tie wo ato de say wo so bia wo so pi say na sate na e no na mom positive na ko fa sa ya de na ba no e da so ye den e sekira Kessben say eye nti eguso e Kessben no say complication na den economy na sa project ka Kessben no go na me no ya me ma dom say we don me kan we do no atomo e be strength project na Kessben no e ma na normalize amasa do so a do so ni situation na eye no e jai na ma me ye outstanding e project no aya hwem because engo na wo situm nya no e manage do so e strength project nti say dodo na ba Maakye a o ma ba be dia da se o ma nunu ndo anu different be no na eti o mutimi ka ba na ma dura babana behena edu ya na den eko nti enu na mama ka say dey obi so opportunity do champion oboa nti no se metia ka opportunity wan sama na se me champion opportunity ayahwem dey bia me ka say se minister of health beji medu atuma ya show bia kateta o mamu hada because oya na ko ho a we dey do no manu a ebe single opportunity no ama na si ay normal na afi ni pa no ato no enu a baba bi ba me nchen no ba me nchen August oba ofitugo na bae ntene na san of frame say onu ne do na wie na oba ma hwe no nam so ndo mbra and oba no faith oba me adam hwe record faith oba no me testing positive here 288 centimeter cube scania that's the unit edition centimeter cube na 288 oba me testing na about 206 reduced by 82 centimeter cube, which is very remarkable. And I'm catching says a year omu sanka or the hospital bia make some surgery because when you back out says say no because abafuni we draw and a hospital senior do a single prostitute and manage them kind tam so sin adokora adi for answer dem omo manage it me share nam sama na do so nkonkon na 206 no kan a very big prostitute on kono on we umbranian testing o continue e bedu baby no e normalize na fina a whole year den na free ho ntim sana enu ne edu a me de bo amanfo sesi a me ho yi na ma me dam so nkum ye unique in the treatment of prostitute so obitumi kan mo yanyansafo anitifo ngaka se o papa we misiken tina ope na oti radio so an TV so okasa enye usika sem na meka no me sebra na baji ayahwe ma wankasa ho because bebia no obenya yahwe chen me ho ti am ka chen go for say so otumi kan when you 90% we what 90% 10% ni so wa by then botu 29 then aba oba on beto me a mistake in a bio.
Okay.
Me no
numbers no any location.
Yes. Me no money 0553 800 678
0553
800 678 when you come as in Fanama way 0249 49 61 66 0249 49 61 66 and now we are Western region and Fanama way 0246 04 34 58 0246 04 34 58 mufa ofra wo we kuma sin first ano no ofra e be yambo afri ho ena won ye wo ashaman my yan obi o hwe ho amame kakra 0245 42 85 88 0245 42 85 88 me kan so say o frɛ ho o pese kokoto do ho say when you prostitute nya prostitute nkwa na mani padun so tell make no nya no kwan so na ma symptoms make ho asam e mani ba maybe to say infection bit na ma adu so pia na ju say the ye kan ye e friend say diabetes bit na am adu so pi weak bladder bit na am adu so pi into o be kwa hwe say ya testo a confirm so we prostitute and son why then akoto do me say I me compromise the integrity of the medicine we be na one koto when prostitute na hawo na akoto be akoto be wi no so manu do na ansam yare me kasi sometime ago ma me bi ni kun frame me say ni kun so pi na me do nkoma no me do no ma no a be 1 week later ana ma me frɛ ebufo so na me kura no do ni sa junso na wojunso msa onko sunu medu sa onko sunu medu say e do no mean na ojunso ana wo so onko sunu medu no nta wo de mbusa ne say ne kunu o diabetes ana so o diabetes dem so o diabetes ana ya junso project na manage junso diabetes na manage junso e ho na no buto ne yema settle case no there nti say wo koto do na hwe say ya test o a confirm so prostitute na prostitute there do be no betumi asane ya de chema do no nti say obia pe was a condition on permit coin. Oba on beto. Oba on beto. No 50 prat last stop. Ewo Yano Kwanso. Baby the 50 prat last Oba Noa, Udukasua, Casa Open Yano station, Uko station, because I say Open 50 down taxi. We are taxi and catch a rabbit to be about Tampa. We see Johnson is swabbing and 3 minutes. No about maintain. Oba on beto. Positive dear, yes, I come Ayasa. Obian Chami. Nti sana meet me I can in there. Some time you swing.
I got 2 minutes.
I got 2 minutes. Because we prepare I got my very good. No man 0244
0244.
I'm sorry. 0538
0538.
No, it's a mistake. 0553
0553
800
678
0553
0553
800 678 and a Kumasi 0249 49 61 66 0249 49 61 and Western region 0246 04 34 58 0249 0246 04 34 58 and Ashama in environs 0245 42 85 88 the American say positive dear they say Lena Macau baby say African see ye nipa a post the idea 3 years na man kan ho and you complete.
Okay, offer made us say and pay.
What's that to be no more? What's that to be no more?
As man na me can say be with mo and this formula strategic. Nyame na acha omade. You get me? Omanya strategic akra because we have where Dr. Baumia picked Gideon Boako from.
Yeah.
You get me? Gideon was with us in Kumasi. Obey a TESCON president to youth organizer for New Patriotic Party in Ashanti region. Kwame Appiah say Gideon Ayinena. Dr. Baumia, you get me? Adoption. Kwame, because they know say in the future, these are people going to take over.
Yeah.
Somebody like a beauty, Kwame.
Yes.
Etiane se bia odidi adongo na sekra na kaide. Ebia the finance minister ato force ebia watitim bi. You get me? Watitim. These are people when it comes to finance and economics. These are people who are designated to almost say some radio stations and they should go and speak on our behalf. You don't allow anybody at all to go on radio.
On the economy.
On economy. I'll be quick can no man no maybe one tiase. Me question get bombarded. You create radio. I'm bombarded. And you no my dear and I bet tiase. You understand? If you are not an economist.
Yeah.
They make they should
very technical.
Very, very technical. So they should make use of them. We have a lot of BOTs in the system. Yes.
10 to 20.
Yes.
By economy now.
Because Kwame, the next election definitely will be corruption in the economy.
Yeah.
Because the NDC, NPP are waiting for NPP to fail. NDC to fail. So that they can attack them. Use the economy as I see a catch them. I said, what else again? And it says, Sabi, Yabeku no be because diska. Na yede baba be scandal be pay.
But interestingly, so buy as a CD now stabilize.
I stabilize. Yeah. Interest rates. Kwame, the one was 15 hona yeah, they make what say. So, they should make use of them. Now, you move forward as a country. Kwame, mameti we say through honometia na farmer beauty na enko Kwame, emotional trauma. Yenu ba Senator Rollins afem. Kwame ya requesem. Because Sebi, the reason why we read the Bible, Jesus Christ Bible. Tamana yama enkofo ye bonia.
Yeah.
Na ye sacrifice ye fancy goats and sheep and all this stuff. Jesus became the lamp of God, the final lamp of God. So the bichi. Eti adeno bi kodi ni bone. Na an innocent goat bi anase odwan bi onam ne baby ni yakwa kokuno. Senator Rollins seven producer. He's just a father of President Rollins. Daughter of President Rollins. Or Parliament. It bibi o hono mo a anu kwase kokabeka. Nipa o kan sa asem no Kwame. We should condemn it in any bia Kwame, we should condemn it. Even if Rollins is a murderer, as a member of Parliament, and your honey can. Yes, and your honey can. But you see, Abrantiane ani ndi nkomo no. Jeffrey. Se no ordinary na radio station dia. And your friend wa ye be catch and law people. Say omu change no. They should bring someone else as seven producer. Okuta efie nyansa native wisdom be blended with the school dia no answer questions. Asmo keka se Kwame ye jano obe create a lot of mess confusion in the system and the confusion. Yeah.
Na amade enti omo pa apology de kra ye.
Ayira because you o say UP government UP party no omo de sa na omo tie. Omo de sa na omo tie. Eye Victor Usu na koka say seven producer ever for inward person me boy people me wa.
Yeah.
Eye UP4. Eye one person that they were chasing for apology. When Professor Kofi Awuno echo through a book The Ghana Revolution. I odi shame say Asante phone ko school the bedroom le bi no omo de baba be som Ghana. Omo de baba be the last class citizens in this country. Were they chasing NDC people? Who was chasing NDC? They said that look, the man is a Council of State chairman. Mo man resign. Nobody chases NDC for sa no makasa. What kind of communication is this? They make what you say.
Yeah.
What can I say? Say Otufo abetimi akanasa. You see, a person or dragging a santino Otufo basadi we see.
Yeah.
Everything or Casa Rollins your hene. Rollins why no ever. And Koswahine is not recognized in any way. As a Jeffrey say chieftaincy act and recognize it Elibia. By Koswahine, you have a Rollins. One in him say Rollins your hene. Rollins in your paramount chief. And your strategy or per se. What or petty Rollins said why you in a case you be no I go drag you too for the above account. What kind of seven previous analysis is this? What kind of communication is this? Are you funny here, Kono Kwame? As I say, I'm not falling in a casa. Or 240 the baby, one back can was some asante to the bed. We're crying your tribe and your tribe. And then I had a tribe baby. I'm on an casa. In any case, Ora Rollins. And yet the panel cancer Rollins here. Your friend say, Medrano. And you're only the first person that Castle Rollins a murderer. He's just rehashing it. Because Rollins you could be no. If they want to attack people, they should go attack Professor Kwame Appiah. Professor Kwame Appiah book me will be working with Rollins. Look at statement your friend is a revelation so make here. Rollins signed to execute people. It is clear. Small boy no controlling accountant general department. Yes, so apart 25 million. 32 years. Rollins signs Yekunu Swampa. You understand?
That was during the military regime.
Yeah, during the military regime. Rollins interview with Koku Sechiado, assassin ready. He was asked to say, what you man to the stand Koku Sechiado Bisani say? What is the final? Why did you kill us? Baby, I need to do yes, Adam. It is clear. The video is all over. We are saying that the person that said that were wrong. And you can so Kasadi we say the chairs and Senator Rollins because you're innocent. One year Bonnie be Kwame. But you find your politics. Make Nanamu Kromo background parliament to Kwame Tiasie. Nanamu Momu from Rakadu Parliament Tiasie. Let the parliamentarians handle their issue. You understand? But me atwa dia ma parliament kakra bi no ma catch parliament say ebia say don't go to parliament how they are denigrating former president in this country. Go there and see.
Okay.
So me challenge me very careful. Baby, I did this country con. Bibia politics tribal. Bibia politics tribal. Ya careful. We push this country to be on the edge. Afe bedroom lebnu ya waya nenye ye. It's okay.
But I say 4 minutes after 9.
Mamin take you from Baby Aminu Apani Zikadre. Now to Tanzania for Bebubi said you don't visit the sins of a father on innocent son or daughter. You don't visit the sins of a late father or late mother on an innocent daughter or son.
Yeah.
Tanzania for Bebu no chese say papa bi mrebi atwam ye ne boni no atwam a ne babe man na ne baba bi ote ne ba bi ono kan bi nhye mu no yemfa sa abone ne nkoso.
David.
And I'm the speaker, I'm happy you're a student of law, right?
Yeah.
Aha. Because the point I'm raising it is matter of law. Just because in matters of law, everybody is innocent
until proven guilty. Assumption of innocence.
Assumption of innocence. I didn't raise this argument. The argument raised this argument because it is even true that Rawlings may have granted interview to whosoever and the video abounds.
Yeah.
However, until a court of competent jurisdiction ever try no into a verdict to say
you're guilty
because of ABCD, the emofreno ratio decidendi, right?
Yeah, ratio decidendi.
Ratio decidendi. Until the court no say based on these assigning stated reasons, we hereby give a ruling say Mr. ABCD is a murderer.
The reason of the court.
You can never
pronounce anybody
with that accolade. In fact, you see, Constitution here cry. Say was that informal late Rawlings. But for him, MP no te parliamentar all gonna no mu go bi hu fi no. Nka wonya akwanya meye MP ne. Yes, so time kwadu a.
No, in America.
And in any case,
yeah, prepare the grounds.
They suppose MP no can say no. He should bow down his or her head in shame. You know why?
And they say you huni pakro.
Oh, why? You tell me.
And they have
tell that to the Marine.
They me bow. Even if say your father said they Kwame, you nim the pakro. You understand? Even that person, you nim no. How do you determine that the person is an Ashanti?
Okay. And now let me come to a point. Me am a tehane.
Yeah.
Say me ye NDC niya. E ye Rawlings moja na ama me ye NDC ni.
Because on a fund.
Untimi nchiri koko ni ma. Wan wo bi o chiri nande ne seche. Wan wo bi o se me mpe wonam. By a man wonam say oh chairman kram ye no we. No the nana se nanuma timu tu o se jefa o beta free be fa ho.
Exactly.
Enti ye nchiri nam mfa ye se nche. I cannot be an NDC member and stoop low to defend Rawlings. I have to at all costs because but for Rawlings, NDC will not exist.
Exactly.
Now, I didn't know me say, sir supposed MP no make it that unsavory, unwarranted, or needless comment might be brought to book because and the CCTV cameras a boo of parliament. You cannot tell me it's a parliamentary chamber, sir. Cameras a boo of babyano. Nipo yes, sir, comment parliament must know. However, I agree with my brother Ziga say. Okobrewa and some parfum. Obi autonomous on ton perfume drew. Because my money by nature stinking things to bring the house light. What will be autonomous Kobe? Autonomous money. No, see, oh, my money, I made 20 me perfume, they told my money, now spray perfume, good money. Who does that? And to Obi, our fire service, Jumano. Odunja phone soldier. Odunja for me on your day. On soldier. And to me, Jeffrey, you have a good cause. But if you don't take your time and articulate your point clearly, you may not survive. Share. Nipa mi enu betimi abokro no akokot. Ba ku betimi aboni nkro. Owi akol be kasa acquitted and discharged.
Yeah.
Ba ku so boni nkro wi a ye be sentence no. Minua pani Jeffrey asem na wode nam no ya asempa Ghana fo nyina support to say SAS comment na e ba ye no it was unwarranted But one way here, in your pursuit of looking for justice, you will be a man carrying injustice. One way when now you will become a public nuisance to people.
Yeah.
And a man for cry bio mo radio no mo tie so mo kasobra and when ye as I said they will turn preko nambo nkramufie. Obo so anambe ne preko se ho. Man konton preko o malam fie. Look, Mr. Jeffrey baby a utie mi bia no.
Aso akwaje bosiana de akobie baba Jamaica.
Take the politics out. Look at the substantive matter. Deal with the issue. Take emotions out. Magana fontie say asemna the supposed MP ni kaye no enye ne kwanswa. Number 2, in your attempt to really publish support for you, don't be a carrier of unsavory words. One way when imra ho so no obia te say o kasa about this subject matter, they will not listen to you. But say hu kon Nyankopon ku bi ma. Asemna about Ghana for the Rollins, Ghana for Per Rollins, Zenato must not suffer emotional trauma because of a certain unscrupulous member of parliament, so to speak. But say, I'm very careful in our quest to protect the integrity, the image, the lineage and legacy of Rollins. No, we may end up getting more hatred than the love for Rollins.
Thank you. 10 minutes after 9. Na unia krobi asante. It's you. Otiyo anope na. Incoming National Youth Organizer, I don't know, for the New Patriotic Party. Krobia, I don't pay my main chair now. What the message about? And I love him because your program will be our contributing. As a good morning, Speaker, please ask my brother BOT that per his own understanding of of the innocence of persons until proven guilty by a competent court of jurisdiction.
Right.
So he and his NDC should stop crucifying the likes of Ken Oforiatta, Gifty Owari, and other past government officials. If you know that there is a presumption of innocence until proven guilty as a principle of law, why then are you now crucifying the likes of the government officials, previous government officials? You must wait for the processes, to be done. And send what me pronounce as such. Fast message.
But also about the position, man.
National Youth Organizer.
I know age limit in the man. Age limit in
but your
nobody has publicly vilified, crucified, and given verdict on them. Don't forget that obiter dictum is allowed.
Yeah.
In fact, in as much as ratio decidendi is the premises of verdict in court, there's something called obiter dictum. Passing comments are allowed. So, the assumption of the principle of proving innocent until otherwise, I must also tell you, say, there's also another principle of law, which is called obiter dictum, which allows BOT, Zega, any person in Ghana to have a passing comment. What will give birth to a passing comment? A passing comment is whereby a finance minister all of a sudden leave the jurisdiction, go and hibernate somewhere and join himself, and will be writing letters, love letters here and there. Obiter dictum can arise when you have Deputy National Survey Director Ohinijan.
She's back into the camp.
I'm coming. Ohinijan is around. The main boss is there, and the football administrator can be was moving around Morocco and out of jurisdiction. I am happy that she has arrived, and let me take this opportunity to suggest to every MPP member. At Intihu territory in Run Treasure, Yan announce say, "Utin fite tu amwanku." So unim say onye bonne na only bane bonne. Avail yourself. Mamin commended those former appointees, Honorable Jogate, Professor Kunfiamiao. Subject yourself. The BNI is not a place for terror. It's a place for due process of the law.
By the way, manner in which you are using them.
Oh, let me tell you, Mr. Speaker, you know what some of us have gone through in the hands of this past MPP government. I don't believe in eye for eye. So be crier or
tooth for tooth.
No, I don't believe in that. I believe a vengeance is from above.
The utilitarian principle.
No, Abra David. Onya akwanya so beku kenso no. David can say, "Deɛ Nyankopɔn wo sra wo no so no, don't touch not the anointed." David had every opportunity to kill Saul, but David chose the other option, or the Saul and Quanchen. But young fan, young share, Adumani Mabone no son. Obi a wafa kwambone so misappropriative funds no ora will deal with you.
Okay.
But the caveat I mean raise it to your petty funds and say, do so within the remit of the law. Don't do so capriciously. Don't do so to let it appear say in your exercise of discretionary powers no is being so done in a manner that spark of persecution. Share the Mrs. Sir MPP for try and woman. Say NDC yakase ya fasa asa na so a ye nkokrom ha.
Okay.
Hwe bandi, me ba bandi. Ye dri ni dan go ye.
Mustafa Bandi.
Yes. Yes, ye dri ni 8-bedroom house ye dri go ye. Dafia Mapo, lawyer Dafia Mako MP for North Day or South Day. Ye dri ni dan go ye. Ye wa manfo bebra niema Kennedy Japan kasa campaign financier manager East Legon or Sadringano. Yanko dri ni dan go.
George.
Eniema MPP abon ye twemu di amanfo afam do ho. Se ye kase ye di MPP nsa no aduma chianko bi anwenam krom ha. Ade ba akopɛ na mesre His Excellency Mahama. Ora na ye di aba no. Let us look for the looting option. Because ye kase ye di MPP fo ati a once na kra be ko jail.
Okay.
And ye nye ready nso say ye buy nsa wam. So the best option is that the looted cash ni nya evidence say clearly o ma loot to there. Me nua ba gift we man nye dede me ne wa akura wa ka o se onwe ye se wa adwen no conscience mammo bia nya yodo odwen sa ade no do nsa bo ma etiawa pe opanin bi na koma o Mr. Selezi Mahama ade no me blow 5 billion o de 3 billion ne je na ma me meeting.
Do not be conclusive.
I'm not conclusive. I'm just suggestive. More ntwene time man me di lawyers achi mo lawyers yi wa that you be ye di wachi a obi akuni pakan usio metwitwajo na nimra na usu no order jail ntimi nua ba me dia futuo na free counseling sa odwen sa ade no wakoma mu odwen sa mu de monsa bo mu a mane nye tenten ukọ BNI ya sire omo so person ni mampani hia ukọ as mampani ade no ye blow 5 billion na odi ade no ma wi bia katre jetere no because oka say odi me court prosecute me and you are in criminal proceedings maybe when mra azra me da jail na ban na so 3 billion Ghana cedi eno be ya chense ubema lawyers ayo when mra ho so no na nsawam na waben no
May I say, making kind messages in the messages here, and Krobia has no power, you know, course. Krobia has some ganjo, Mr. Speaker. 5th April 1986. I'll be 38 years this year. And to Krobia has all Moroso. I'm kind of credential. Also, thank you. BOT deserves a very good appointment. Per your explanation, to Krobia, advocate Ma said, your more appointment. And the initial one man kind of did
it. But make it clear. My council will say, I've been here, baby, boss me be a bahaba, coming on kind.
Oh, yeah, can't.
And you said, you're not crashing when I'm in front of your mama.
This one says that, good morning, Mr. Speaker. I'm boiling within myself for what I heard the Allo chiefs do in Parliament yesterday. Mr. Speaker, as we speak, tidal waves has displaced a lot of people in Keita and its surroundings. But the chief decided to go on a tangent of petitioning Speaker to dish out one member who so-called incriminated the daughter of a former president. I mean, what do we want to achieve? Is this a pressing issue for the chiefs to put together their apparels and then demonstrate against such an utterance? Ayiko, this is so below the belt. They should go and come again. People are being misplaced and they must do the needful. Thank you for a message, Adam Della. Nungwa, you sent in that one. This one says that greetings to you, Mr. Speaker, and your team. Comrade, kudos to you for the excellent work done. The NDC government, led by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, is making sense with our taxes. Indeed, he is a visionary leader and a nation builder. Trust the government to do the work within the specified administration given. Mawuko Silas, anyway, Ediaba, Olebo in Accra. You sent in that one. Mauko, thank you for a message and pay what they are ban. Pacho, your number is 0550596 Mame Enkai Wina Yentua. So this one says that greetings to you, Mr. Speaker. Tell the NPP, there is no NPP man here, that they must keep quiet their mouth because they are just 1 month in office. Okay, you mean the NDC man, which is BOT. Thank you for a message. Same Boache anyway for Saman Kessiaba. Or say the plethora of discussions will not contribute to mitigating or restructuring the national health insurance scheme's financial woes. We as Ghanaians were promised a term of premium by the John Mahama and Mills administration, but it turned out to be a fiasco and lies, propaganda as well. The current Mahama administration is taking Ghanaians for granted. They must get to work and stop the mere narratives. Thank you for a message. Good morning, Speaker. Please tell the NDC man that he should stop lamenting so much and find solutions in fixing the country. And also the country is in a mess as we speak. They must be able to fix it for Ghanaians to know the essence of voting them into power. I think that one of BOT here now. Masawood Ewo Kumase, he sends this one. I'll say the majorities who speak against the construction of the National Cathedral are now silent on the controversy surrounding the funding of the Hajj Village project under the current administration. The minorities are committed and determined to form a very constructive opposition party that will look forward to the interest of the people of Ghana. Thank you for your message. Mame Enkai Wena Afemimra BOT. So, Comensa with Pillar 2, Dome Kwabenya constituency. I say Happy Independence Day to the Honorable Charles Otin, aka OT, incoming Greater Accra Regional Assistant Secretary. Thank you for a message. Thank you very much. 20 after 9. Mame Mbra BOT so be. Mame Mbra also na yenin komo national economic dialogue. Mo na mo share mubo as we speak. Mo di nyina no abewe ye Mbra. Utie Professor John Gachia. A lot of a year good work and amonya diama dialogue no but yes coming forward no eniema Ghana for enhwe anymore after the dialogue are concluded. Okay, so Mr. Speaker, Adeba Kwame can say every government must make decisions based on science and data. Now, where global info analytics are, MPP4 in the past, pulled radical it. But at the end of election 2024, you would be a prediction burn. Now, global info analytics at the research be by, and the research is talking about how people see the direction of the country. Okay. Now, so on the direction of the, and this was released 17 February 2025. Okay. Prior to that, there was one that came out on 2nd February 2025. Yeah. The 2nd February 2025 one, they look at direction of the country. Okay. On the direction of the country, as of 2024 ending, the right direction of Ghana was 22%. As of February now, as of February last month, now it is 70%. Meaning, say now far MPP a mamuna etwemuna. Na Ghana for who said direction na mampeni dig mine ekono na enkoye. Abraham Mahama take you over in less than 2 months no. The right direction has moved from 22% to 70%. Wrong direction. As of December 2024, it was ending at 68%. Wrong direction. As of today, it declined to 16%. Now let me take you to President Jobs approval rates. As of 2024 ending, His Excellency Akufo-Addo was having 32% approval rates. As of February last month, Mahama was having 84% approval rate. Dear Nebema, ma wasting me time, I share this data. Beyond the 2nd February one, this was dated 17 February, by the same Global Info Analytics. And here they look at direction of the country with focus on regional basis. When they put all the regions together, the direction of the country as of today, averagely 74% positively. That should tell us that there's a momentum of goodwill
Ghana for asha se enya wa ban no die na de sa go do naba Mr. Speaker a bus kasem to ya is perceptive.
Yeah.
Every economy is purely a game of perception. I take you to South Africa.
Isn't it more of reflective effect?
No, it's perceptive. And yet the timemufo no drain share mamin control. The amount for share Kessben pie nyina your perception. Oh, Kessben, on my morning show, Mr. Speaker, obe yiro kitty, obe mouth tough questions. Mr. Speaker, obe probe command insight. Kwame Appiah, oh, we built this company for years. So politics is the game of optics and perception.
Okay.
The amount for omote for masum perceive and omudi dijuma. And this bina scientific data. It show consistently on a positive trajectory. It will impact on how you perform.
Okay.
And untina the other DDE buy at a point, some people are bankers who flow to treasury bill. People are not buying it. Otimiko market no run short. Adentia, the goodwill was not there. Now let me come to the national economic dialogue. But I'll take you to Mefa Finance Minister in his speech. I'll take you to page 9.
Presentation. No?
Presentation of page 9 of the Finance Minister's speech, which is very important. Page 9. Page 9 talking about income inequality. So Speaker, look at here. Poverty rate in Upper East, Upper West, and Northern region remain above 50%. That means that the 5 Northern region poverty level is very high. Again, rapid urbanization has led to rising disparities within cities. Although urban poverty rate have dropped over the last decade, the number of urban poor has not decreased. What this portion means that income inequality is still very high. The chance say here e wo krom ha. Here don't know e wa ha. But here don't know no. But be e gina pa yesire mu ho. Now, let me put in this humble request.
Me too.
Osha amamu abaya statistically Northerners enya key positions under the government. They should aggregate their portfolio and make impact in the Northern region. Data where Finance Minister Diabache said Upper West, Upper East, and the Northern regions remain poverty level is excruciating high. So if my effort no money key appointment, let it translate into the people life. Let me take you to page 13. The Reset Ghana. And that will feed into the net. In Resetting Ghana, the National Economic Dialogue look at what are the key indicators. Look at 7 areas. 1, resetting the economy and creating prosperity for all. Ideologically, and this is social democracy, we believe in welfare capitalism. The enemy niye. MPP a property owning democracy tekanafa. And the MPP is more profit maximization. NDC is much more for social good. And the NDC say, Ned na ye call, we must find a mechanism to create prosperity for all. Number 2, jobs for all. Into a 24-hour economy bar. Obi ananka quantity oni adwuma no obenya biaye. Ghana Publishing Company Limited started 24-hour economy. Said now almost task trend eya babese 200. I can say they will employ not less than 50 people to add up. That will in a way reduce the unemployment rate in the country. Number 3, industrialization. Let me tell you, the world is at the age of information age, ICT age. Yeah. We are still around the agrarian age. We must move from there to the industrial level in Fidijuma. Number 4, power and growth through infrastructure development. So infrastructure on Kenya Wakwan Unsko a mark cost of doing business become cheaper. Number 5, investing in people for inclusive growth. Abanye baye, you can say inclusivity. Yeah, than 95%. Women involvement in appointment. Youth involvement in appointment. But in my view, we have to better a person living with disability. Because the lesson living Ghana statistically 13.2. And they say, population did 13.2 there. Abanye ba ma may score 95% involvement. About Utah, 99% in terms of appointment. But baby inclusivity atichuma kakra people living with disability. Number 6, restoring good governance and combating corruption. The mere setting up of oral committee, the defunct oral committee, is a testament that the NDC government is committed to combating corruption and ensuring good governance.
But we've not seen the effect yet.
Oh, the senior so far and you were a student of law. It is better to let a wrongdoer go to due process for 1,000 years than to penalize the right person for few hours. It's a matter of law. Sorry, give to your worry. Your information says where the NSSika, your man also prison sometime. Ubakasa kangaroo court, banana republic. Onka. Intiminia, give to your worry. New be involved in matters of alleged corrupt issues. No, yentimin kasa Ghana for penitentiary and intend there be. Oto open ten to board to baby inra. Edioye ne bawiase. Due process of law must be followed. Obia yewe any allegation tiano no. It must not be done at the whim and caprices of anybody. Due process of law. Number 7, deepening international relations and foreign policy. And now I know what I say. Mr. Speaker, I will to Muse. Foreign Affairs Ministry.
Oh yes, of course.
True or false?
He knows what is happening.
For the very first time, what Tima Troleta Koma embassies for say, Kwanya Mofasu treaty Ghana for in ye. MPP 8 years and to me and rather no allegedly omutra letter ko Canadian embassy say omunsusu issue visa Ghana mabuno. That should tell you say ba mamua enye MPP afeni embassy. Now let me come to net. At the end of the 2-day engagement of National Economic Dialogue, this is a communique.
Yeah.
Now, as part of the communique, certain portions are of importance to me. And I'll grab your indulgence to touch about few of them. Number 1, a fiscal and monetary policy alignment. Over the years, Bank of Ghana governor sorry no we Sika without parliamentary approval. O Sika na lead to demand pull inflation. After bonds are ban or person inflation buffer no. O governor to Bank of Ghana Sika. O to me Sika to the sense abroad babekono. Na Bank of Ghana indebtedness kwana over 104 billion Ghana cedi. Net communique resolution say we must find a way to align and marry fiscal and policy monetary and fiscal policy regime. In fact, so the say governor of Bank of Ghana and the baby in Sika abra parliament in your way. Number 2, implement major tax reform that expand tax nets. And over Ghana, a lot of people are avoiding tax, which is legal. It is only legal when it tax evasion. The year can say you must expand the tax bracket. But be a year me depa item number D, overhauling PFM system, ensuring compliance with PFM Act, and also reforming the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2018 Act 982 Fiscal Responsibility Act. I didn't know be a minister to meet now. No a roto only parliamentary approval. Roto le year to the best 70 million Ghana cedi Brian. Or sorry, find a pen one night on Abuam Wakwata. Kanya Adiami Mekem. He has to be physically responsible. Intend this is a Fiscal Responsibility Act. Debut. Reforming state-owned enterprises and state-owned enterprises. Where Ofa Cocoa Board, ECGA, cow Modian Kwai over 100 billion. We must find a way to make them more financially responsible. I didn't know bit me contra ECG. Not through his actions and commissions, ECG aboka 100 billion. Na Ghana ni no te enya Techiman Kumasi Asokore Mampono and nam inefficiency on the part of MDB ntino no be to a higher light bill. Again, as part of the net, I bebo minor ye. Direct a portion of bank cash reserve requirement toward credit creation and provide tailored financing opportunity. Mamin cho, cash bank cash reserve at the TNA. Bank bia into savings a no. Bank of Ghana Shemra say for a reserve better Bank of Ghana. Said the bear akwa hu ye ma ye dia support. Ye mi say on say the says can koto Bank of Ghana dwumadie ben ye didi. And this say sa bank cash reserve na de kokoto BOG na da hokwa no. Ye ba be create mechanism bia ye betime famra kwanso ma etimi dia botmamufu obosia na Ghana for ho ankyere omo. Mfaso pay de beba no say ebema cost of borrowing be ye cheaper. Enti ye face more liquidity challenge. Again, net ne de mene omo nya adwen o baby. Kessben. Item 4. Implement structural and policy reform, especially in key sectors of growth. This must focus on 1. Returning Kokobo to each role as agency under the Ministry of Finance. I disagree. National Economic Dialogue say, yen sign for Kokobo on Kosher Finance Ministry. I say, nani power touch out the show tia na Okotobi. Kokobo produce agricultural product. Identity a one mofa. Now say yen for Kokobo on Kosher Finance Ministry. I say, I totally disagree. As an economist, no, we must do proper alignment. Because on in BB, agency bia jumadia udino, our ministry and the shell so.
Exactly.
How on earth can you tell me it's a gold board young fan come out Greek ministry?
No, but you know, sir, Cocoa Board Jumedia or Modino has financial, component
Thank
of it.
you.
No, I'm coming. The financial component of it. Again, Osha a year agencies finance minister Eka say, omo agencies are omo deka. They are highly indebted.
Okay.
Cocoa Board is one of them.
Okay.
Again, syndicated loan, it comes back there. Now, to be able to monitor their books, financial books, okay, and making sure say balance a balancing.
Okay.
Somebody will have to supervise the finances. Now, will the Agric Ministry have the substantial competencies of managing those aspects of Cocoa Board? Because the Kessben na Cocoa in the first place. And isn't it in the right perspective? Say Kessben books ni yebehu so that a kabia Cocoa Board no airborne. If we have to add it to the national debt, yebe became a part of it.
Just be about Bank of Ghana hwane hweso.
The governor and the hweso.
Kabi.
Finance Ministry.
Pacho mo de kasen. The argument say Cocoa Board at the 32-point-something billion Ghana cedi. Bank of Ghana they over 104 billion Ghana cedi. Maybe say Argentina over the years. Bank of Ghana. So it counter your argument to say Cocoa Board resist syndicated loan. And the name say Cocoa Board resist syndicated loan. Move Aseno is untenable because Bank of Ghana supervisory rule it falls under Ministry of Finance. The governor though is independent but report to Finance Minister. That is why in the Bank of Ghana board members, they have institutional representative. Finance Ministry has one slot all the time. Yeah. The argument, Maminfa Unko Article 183 of Ghana Constitution, titled the Bank of Ghana, or say the Bank of Ghana shall be the central bank of Ghana and shall be the only authority to issue currency of Ghana. The Bank of Ghana shall promote and maintain stability of the currency of Ghana and direct and regulate currency system in the interest of the economic progress. Blah, blah. It goes on and goes. So at Article 183, it says Bank of Ghana, the audience say Tresika, na regulate. Obi onu Tresika regulate no edeka aboka 104 billion over the years. Sa agency no, as a finance minister say. So the argument is say Cocoa Board ayinka indebtedness. And a not just question for concourse into finance is untenable because one,
those costs incurred by BOG was not under an NDC regime, I guess.
Oh, but I'm talking about government's going concern.
Yes, but I'm saying over the years, the reflective effects, and it's it wasn't at all force who was managing the ministry.
We are not talking at all here. We are talking about the fact that it's a going concern. And the Bank of Ghana as a finance minister say, finance minister no shana for MPP regime ne bepem dem. Oma boka to 104 billion Ghana cedi.
Which is an MPP regime.
Good. And it's a Cocoa Board so called share Mr. Mofase. No boka 32 billion and yera kwan but here or say returning Cocoa Board to Israel's agency under the Ministry of Finance, ensuring it focuses on its core mandate of ensuring the efficiency of the sector and protecting the interests of farmers. Who can protect the interests of farmers than MOFA? MOFA na ye all mandate per constitution when ministerial regulations say, do you know what we should do rather? Look, Ministry of Finance and a syndicated loan. Who syndicated loan we are? Loan be our terms and conditions. There are conditions, present conditions, subsequent. And to data ben ade kwaje bosiano. So what are the compliance rules?
From your books.
Precisely. And again, every sector minister be a report to Parliament of Ghana. And this a sector minister be what is the oversight role of Parliament of Ghana? Maakye say we a recommendation. This is just a recommendation to President of Ghana, subject to his approval to issue a white paper. Baby, I mean, Article 5, paragraph 5 on cocoa board. Cocoa board must remain under MOFA. Because so you cocoa board every MOFA here, certain things may not align. We must not only focus on syndicated loan. We must not only focus on the indebtedness on the abuse. Rather, no, let's focus on the core mandate of cocoa board. Say, yama cocoa board etna MOFA. Ebema sector minister are more answerable to the people. And now I can say, so you cocoa board, the cocoa free agric ministry as here. A better than who be sign a question of cocoa board. Because you go to the finance ministry. Look, in my candid view, let the status quo remain. Rather, no, and near my pair was say we must engage and ensure enforcement and compliance. Say, yeah, you syndicated loan, ba, near say be free fertilizer, you be cocoa road. You bear compensation to Ghanaian workers. It must go to them. But cocoa board, in my candid view, must remain under MOFA. Said the ministerial responsibility of MOFA and the cocoa board no cannot be jettisoned away. Mr. Speaker, I also take you to paragraph D of section VI. Promote good governance, accountability, and eliminate corruption. Develop a competitive regulatory framework for political party financing. It has been my argument over the years. Mr. Speaker, I think we must finance political parties. Do you know why?
The state must finance political parties.
To some extent, not all. State need finance political parties. We can get people to work in and do politics. There are so many intelligent people because of funding, they are cut out from politics. All by your primary, sir, obey here 2 million Ghana cedi. Or when it primaries, you are general election. Or here 3 million Ghana cedi. So many intelligent people, man with credibility and integrity, no, are cut off from politics because of monetization. Say, the mraba, not the state need finance certain percentage of political party activities. One, Ebama Galamsey Kraswati. Do you know why? Most of the Galamseyers and the funded political parties. Into fundu we now we are.
And you own a walk out.
Well, I'm saying it. And not only in Ghana, it's all over the world. Ko Nigeria. Everywhere mining takes place. The backdoor financiers are mostly illegal galamseyers. It's obvious. And it's NDC are buying through net recommendation. No, see a G2 state in fund the political party. In fact, to pay be free, my banner say. Ebe boama the so-called maybe a contract the money been so better. Let me take you to on the same net, you know. Finance Minister speak page 17, talking about inefficient infrastructure spending. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Finance Minister is talking about the fact that infrastructure spending is highly inefficient. One can say inadequate. Or say infrastructure investment and spending is highly inefficient. I didn't hear. Agenda 111 has spent $400 million. O spread the way, you know. What touchy money piece me went to me and me. But as I ban it touchy, a be a 30 facility. And can be a na ye kase no. What we are commission amount for a cum. No, the point of finance minister is also look, spreading resources on too many projects without completing any. Example. For example, Agenda 111 where $400 million have been spent in the last 4 years without a single hospital in operation, with about 1.5 billion needed for completion. The amount spent could have completed 22 functional hospitals.
Okay.
And the finance minister can maintain the agenda to occur state-owned enterprises. Page 20 of the statement. Okay. So, Speaker, last of it all. So, share these state-owned enterprises, the indebtedness. So, can you see the grade, Volta River, all of them, Boma. Now, the Bank of Ghana, Kahwa, is over 300 billion Ghana cedi. Adentina you be as MD of Cocoa Board, ECG, Bank of Ghana. Now a bomb mine 100 billion Ghana cedi. Or bo can you know?
And so Bosume so Ojo.
I'm this net now a course one a commendable. my suggestion here, we must begin to review the entitlement of most CEOs and deputies of state-owned enterprises. It should be performance-based. It should be performance-based. I don't be a governor. Wabo Ghana ka 100 billion Ghana no akwa akọ tenafi ya anya ne hwe ya nchene ya nkan adan o governor obi e kokobo CEO Mr. Boahi Edu 32 billion wabo yeka Muhammad Dubek ECG over 100 billion Ghana cedi okọ otifie odidi enne make say cross abroche dodo no adan o ECG. Look, the net they can say there should be a performance management system. So we will be a CEO for ECG every year be a measure nipa no. So
that is the duty of the board that you put
of ZIGA, State Interest Governance Authority.
Yes, but even aside ZIGA, no, there is a board to all the state-owned enterprises. And you know, what is their mandate?
So
now you are questioning the performance of them. Now, a board ought to be in place and sound as CEOs, managing directors, okay. No ABBA. Now, as we speak, your government has appointed chief executives already who are in office and acting.
That's why it's acting.
Meanwhile, the boss of those institutions are not in place. But in proper corporate governance structure, you know, said the board of directors, must come in to appoint whoever that they so deem, say,
not in all cases.
Not in all cases. But my president now appointing.
Not in all cases.
Now, when the boards come in, they're no more.
They'll do ratification.
Operation Ashas here.
Let me come in here. Why do you think you've added acting to their name?
Kessben.
The acting signified that there is a certain ratification to be done.
Confirmation.
Oh, so do we allow the place to be vacant?
No, I'm just saying it's confirmation. Now what
institution must run?
What prevented you from putting in the board?
The exigencies of time.
Exigencies of time.
Exigencies of time.
So where were you running to? If you cannot put in the board, okay, or if you ought not to have put the board in place at the time Amuazumi officer, why the rush in getting us acting CEO?
In the first place, it was very wrong.
So when the board comes, listen. Board chairman and then the board, and to me and supervise CEO ni year, okay? Because now board don't approve any idea. I mean, how does it?
Let me come in.
President appoint here.
After the 7 December elections, it was very wrong when His Excellency Akufo-Addo issued a caveat that all boards stand dissolved. I didn't support that idea. Government is a going concern. Let the board be. It's a statutory organization. Most CEOs were still in office. So in my candid view, it was much ado about nothing for them to deserve those boards. But for me, people must act. DVLA need an acting person. The person is acting. Nyankopon ya the constitute board na board na dwen so madwuma nso ania the board can recommend otherwise and council of state to take a decision.
Now what becomes of the decisions are those acting CEOs
they'll still be binding
in the absence of the board, right? He as a managing director makes the decisions on behalf of the state-owned enterprise. Now the board comes in and says Nejuma nso into uncle. Decisions are what take here affecting institution no badly, no. How do you reverse those
but
decisions?
You know, company law will tell you the principle of ratification and vicarious liability.
So you are now coming back to ratify.
It's of course. That's why vicarious liability is there. If the president, if they end up doing the worst things, vicariously the president will be held liable. But I can tell you they will do good things. Look, let's give ourselves 6 months. We'll come back and be clapping. The CEOs now, but
I'm saying that
I'm telling you,
there is nothing wrong with you appointing.
But you wanted due process.
Due process must be followed.
That's why they
in corporate governance.
In company law.
In company law. The structures ought to be. As I say, board neighbor.
That's why they're in acting position.
Board neighbor. Board not making recommendation. Okay, ABS CV scrubber. Based on the CVs, they are making recommendation. What the BOT kotohwanoma based on knowledge acquisition on financial issues. ABS what they call your friend says CBG ebeboa. Okay, now already you appoint somebody to CBG without a board. The person is acting, taking major decisions on behalf of the company. And the Ochina says our decisions, turns out to be something any papa. Then you tell me, sir, vicarious liability is there, and the president will be held responsible. In this country, President
Chief of Staff,
President Bernard will be responsible.
But I want to tell you,
for the debt incurred by this state-owned enterprise.
In as much as I was not in the MPP, I never was them bad. I am wishing well for my government to succeed, because if my government succeed, I will succeed. I have the utmost responsibility. Say me mom pay mama aban. Na aban ya abai die. Say we share confidence level a pager, president approval rate ekosro, direction of the country na kwan papa so, national economic dialogue we share brain say asambo ye na.
Osi bebre o mo come business na him na sika wo na mo famento. Scanner wa him.
I mean, that one I work. I mean,
catch no because you know I was street in this. O condom market. O drew circle ha. Boys in the car. Say akwa bi wo ha. Ye de na ba no business or fantasy car.
Oh, I think that public service is an ability to serve your country. Now, His Excellency Mahama Minimuno. Obi bia na obe tu sana mo he may sack you. And I can tell you, look, let me tell you, many people may end up going home. It will be at the shock of many. Many people may end up going home. And one will say, me can same way now or SYZ say, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is embarking on image redemption therapy. Do you know what that means?
Kessben.
Fina man for the good whom may be a tremono. It is a glorious opportunity to right the wrongs. And the Mahama that I have come to, since Mahama that I've come to know, want to leave a proper legacy.
One followed you.
You can't get it all right.
Corporate governance process.
No, that's why they, if they had been there without no action added, then you are justified. But when they are in acting position, let us accept matters of law. In matters of law, we've not erred. Have we erred in any way?
BOT, acting position does not mean there is a limitation in the powers. Okay,
there's a limitation.
No, I'm coming.
There is.
There is not.
There is.
How?
As any corporate governance
the
expert,
references, no letters, does not specify what they can do and what they ought not to do.
The difference between an appointment letter and terms of reference. You don't have the terms of reference. Do you have it? Before each of them gets to the office, the appointment, the green letter is what everybody is waiting for. Which you are waiting for one, I'm waiting for one.
What decisions are?
Wait.
As approvers.
Wait.
The board is not
in their terms of reference, let me tell you on this show, there are some decisions they cannot take in the next 6 months.
But do you have copies of the terms of reference?
Do you want me to share with you?
Yes.
It's highly confidential.
Share some with me.
But I want to tell you.
You are going to occupy a public office. Your terms of reference, dear.
I mean, you should be able to share some. You know, in law, certain engagement are terms as non-disclosure, non-circumvention, and all those things. So the non-disclosure principle applies. The American what he has said, almost terms of reference, there are certain administrative powers they don't have. And they have been cautioned to act within the limit of the law. I will never told that lie. Media me who say, and Amona Mampenye is not new. The Adgon government charted the same path. And some of them ended good, some ended bizarre. Mampanya what by so ne stamina or dia baya. Every appointee is acting within the remit of the law.
Okay.
As an acting portfolio owner, there are some decisions you cannot take.
But I say, that's about so diako. Because you do have a prayer center, no pay one more daroma, one more outboy and patrol a year number 1 prayer center, and then have center obetimi akwa GIR here. Now one more the GD herbal mixture no e dia ba dwamai so mpacho 100% natural herbal plant medicine enti any arthritis and wide general body pains or what to say honam nyina no ya and other related issues nyina no and pay GD herbal mixture and as I say oma wonsa can be GD herbal mixture mpacho or typhoid na ono nombia etu ase edema malaria fever any severe headaches ebe nyina no mpacho ono nombia ebetuni nyina no ase ede amount inkodim die herbal mixture so ewo dwamai so mpacho ene open dudu omwatu a ubenya bi ato ema no a munya menstrual cramps no menstrual irregularities any pains ahodo no nyina obi nso wo hono ma wo all santi wo ho a wo yemutimi eye wo yapa ekonimdie herbal mixture no ebeboa wo etu no nyina no ase ede amount bacho gidi herbal mixture and I think kunimdie herbal mixture baby a wo bia Echoes Pharmacy ewo eye a shaman repairs ventures ewo okanshi drug lane hallow herbal Okanshi and afe Angel Herbal and so ewo Okanshi Kingswalk Herbal ewo Okanshi ni nyina wodru ho a obenya bi ato Food and Drugs Authority ahwehwe mu agye atum from 0558 639865 0558 639865 na wone eye as Kweku Asiedu Herbal and Spiritual Center for any enkomo anopay na Eclipse Collateral Management for other romantic but collateral brokerage, credit brokerage, and so prime brokerage services there. One more edimo to the power. Oh yeah, property owner or landed property and pay the obeying and say Ode on krata no ebeba asasi a Japadi be a wayan krata to son on pacho fabra. One more the bay juba na one more tia commission when watching on pacho oh ewo drama so name pacho you'll be a experience joint pains sexual weakness and how wide we are over to me a tricky na nyina no ye flex on 600 ya mama nyina flames if we win pedri I will see more etimi eda who I want to me emwa adwuma na no pay flex on 600 and SSA we use elephant herbal mixture e wo dwama so a quick remedy for opa no koko bia e show na e dey tete for don pacho use elephant herbal mixture if we would di na wo so e hyehye na so say do baby I want to me enco private constipation and how I do 100% natural medicine and it is a decaba for a day you should be na elephant ointment no a pain reliever anti-body pains a whole I feel honoma wunyanti pass will kase no emu area you'll be as a bro tete wo and also say the drew baby na one so swollen legs you know all the elephant ointment no etchi between nyina no ase e dia ba prep no pe woni is ade for any common open mo check your Kanshi drug lane Kobedia Enterprise Kingswalk Herbal Repage Ventures and a Faitinated Herbal Hillos Pharmacy and a Herbal ni nyina benya bi wo hotel mafo beko Little George Pharmacy a Shaman beko eye Echoes Pharmacy na enkoko akọ Hillside Pharmacy wo Kumasi a obeko eye Colinac Misty Herbal Apidank and a Freddy Men Mama Becky Herbal na wetimi akoje wode ewo ho Flex on 600 Elephant Tontiment Elephant Herbal Meshra nyina no ewo miami ahodo amabobo so nyina kona akoje ebebo wapomodin ye pa pacho omo Mori Junction one Eben Tobu no in the central region and pay for it is a day for on 02441 02441 3511 02441 3511 and after 055 7997 797 now Namina Bayport Savings and Loans for Asia to pay one more at the fixed deposit investment at the about Bayport Zebra. Sika better so me and so mean Siana Safiba na woman in more about interest I will be and for sweat about Sika so money when you bet na see ya when she I do pay bra kita 5,000 Ghana cedis econ and him kwadia but you will to me I investment be na we never bo Sika no awo the amount and he just say say what account say one account oba wikita Ghana card Bayport Savings and Loans say baby a fixed deposit investment account the amount na afi what me e de osika no atwe the brand so aye de osika botene no mfa so abeka ho ni nyina e de ma na afi ye temi aboa wo ye adope wo mo adaroma ana but your borrow branches in across the country and a face one cry how obeko a year kokomlemle ATTC school in Champion. Not when you are money in common free Bayport on 0245 153283 0245 153283 and after 0263 007 922 0263 007 922 not when the Bayport Savings and Loans any and common the whole them and pay one more Roma.
Odom says Siraku
ana aboa ye ano pe me twitwa chochoti entimi ho me a very active na to commence your day on a very good note no mpacho de bia chocho about chi ana eboa e ma wo loke active na eboa ma omoja no edi afusani ye pa ano pe wo tie me na wo nya nteki breakfast mpacho betimi ayisu chochoti ewo eye supermarket any malls ahodo ni nyina shops ahodo ni nyina no eto bi chochoti ye papa ewo dwamai so ano pe no bi na se wo tie me na wo your body ampacho se wo yusu eye chocho skin tone ye be man so abetimi ayusu bi eye rich blend of aloe vera extract na ye de aye chocho skin tone enti ano pe wo yusu bi a ebeboa ma wo de no atoso ye papa mpacho jai se wo de chemicals extra we de na and the name so be na de bebro ano pe yusu chocho skin tone 100% natural enti mpacho unya side effect bia afi e ma no be yusu chocho shampoo the conditioner hair food and afi base we nyina no e yakade a e ma no e de siesie wo muti ano pe wutie me wo your bad dandruff age otiri no ase aboso eno echi no wo no otiri ni mu ana etete nyina no e your how kese ampacho aba ano pe wo yusu chocho product ya maboso shampoo conditioner hair food and afi base e boa ma otiri ni ni monyam no esi ni dada mo bie chocho soap e wo dwama so pacho eyi kotwa any rashes ahodo nyina e de free owedie no eni anope yusu bi na fa ye osem na odi bedware body odor scent bi e wo ho bia wo yusu a ebeko na etu ase e krakra afi the last and is wo ye obi a pacho nantema propro e ha wadwe
odom sesrem
na afi esan ye dwuma wo ye nti aya na wonsem wo de kakra odro ni pemu a wontime nchira anope yusu chocho hand and foot cream na fastra be moisturize wonsem ebeboa soften wonsem o pa mebe ye very soft na watch ya when your confidence no e de achia anope bora shops ni nyina mu obenya bi ato eyusu but ope dodo mo to akoso home in the eastern region na woni wo mo eni nkomo enfree ho from wo mo on 0551815388 0551815388 and for 0244727348 na woni chocho eni nkomo Roba ana adom aboye Obatampa prostate center for us prostate nyina no adwusuo acho we be 40 years at about boy bema ya shock cut na edra na dwo a Johnson 1010 acho nyina ya symptoms of a year or prostate nya challenge enti anope call fifi prat last stop e wo kaso anyanya no main road no eso na woni Obatampa prostate center eni enkomo ano ebeje osu na correct your prostate related challenges ni nyina no e dia mo so one more on 0553 800678 0553 800678 na woni Obatampa eni nkomo bioji ba yenko your time na so just about 1 to 2 minutes wrap it up
I'll end by touching on domestic revenue mobilization profile of this current government. So already paid 22 of finance minister statement na ade ba ko a ye be fa kwanya we so asre Ghana for no say and now me no we can say through Donald Trump amamu ntino we are losing so much grant and aid from the US government. The capital market, we have been somehow restricted interim. We are not able to have access to the capital market. That tells you, say, the government ability to do so much, we need so much in the form of revenue. The best Ghana for say tax compliance. Say, I'm not saying say new taxes are going to come, but should that happen on March 11 for the kind national budget, okay, we are begging Ghanaians to comply.
Hey.
Because say 12 biaba na ye bi nso free ma potogun hwegun konkwansen krom.
Okay.
But the snippet of information amagada na kire say we may not see too much new taxes coming on board, but rather no, there's going to be a review of the existing tax system to ensure say USAID lose capital market yentimi cost say because of the higher rate of returns na ade there, then domestically no we must look for the money to develop the country. Okay. On this note, obi bia odo Ghana na pesa Ghana reset Ghana no fa umpa ebo fa wadwempa fata His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, any Professor Jenano Puko, because a man who ye we abandoned ni and crankraduma ni we foreign Akrana Ebibekan, because the NDC government has come to stay. And I can tell you, we are going to move from victory onto victory onto victory. In conclusion, Obi be our expectation under the government at MI and because green letter there, it can come at any time.
Green letter can come.
It can come at any time.
Thank you, Bernardo Dutechi, chartered economist and a member of the NDC. And Mamina was here to pay for your time. I mean, wishing Hadassa Bema Owusu a very big happy birthday. Also, it's your birthday this morning. We wish you the best of your new age. Nyamisha, now when you're Kessie, we see Mr.
Speaker, unim holiday.
Yes, watching a public
Ochina old Vanda say we are now we are going back to our roots.
Okay.
Until be a old Vanda, la utemi and power belongs to Vanda. Nyamia Daro, education minister ya Vanda, the deputy ya Vanda, president ya Vanda, defense minister Vanda, foreign affairs Vanda. Into every old Vanda and current Vandas, no, we are meeting in the hall to celebrate 6 March.
Allah. I'll be there. And thank you very much.